Presented by Listen Headlines, latest world news from trusted sources.
Washington Post World, November 2, 12:05 America, New York. Ordinary people suffer most, China farms face climate woes. China is the largest contributor to global warming. But meanwhile, China's people are already suffering the brunt of climate change. Washington Post World, November 2, 12:01 America, New York. Climate Summit meets pandemic insularity. The insularity of the pandemic era is giving observers good reason to fret over the ability of nations to come together in a grand bargain at the landmark Climate Summit in Scotland. Washington Post World, November 2, 7:17 America, New York. Rights groups decry conviction of autistic Cambodian teen. Rights groups are urging Cambodian authorities to release an autistic teenager who was sentenced to 8 months in prison for social media posts critical of the government. Washington Post World, November 2, 7:09 America, New York. A day late, Israeli minister in wheelchair can access COP26. Israel's energy minister, who uses a wheelchair, was able to attend the Global Climate Summit, a day after police prevented her from reaching the venue.
World CBS News, com. November 2, 7:07 America, New York. U.S. nuclear sub hit underwater mountain in South Chia Sea, Navy says. China is accusing the U.S. of a lack of transparency and responsibility regarding the accident.
Mirror World News, November 2, 7:03 America, New York. Girl, 13, rushed to hospital after tick from dog burrowed into her eyelid. A 13-year-old girl was rushed to hospital after a tick latched onto her eyelid while she was playing with her pet dog, causing it to swell. She was complaining of pain in the area for several days.
November 2, 7:02 America, New York. He already vaccinates half the world's babies. Tackling the pandemic was much harder. As COVID-19 wreaked havoc around the world last year, the 39-year-old son of an Indian billionaire was laying the groundwork for a plan he hoped would eventually end the pandemic.
Time, November 2, 7 o'clock America, New York. Lessons for this moment in business from a hit Broadway show. Like so much of the world in the spring of 2020, the Lehman trilogy shut down before it really even got started, after just 4 preview performances on Broadway. Time, November 2, 7 o'clock America, New York. The cow that could feed the planet. The cows in Farmer John's pasture lead an idyllic life. They roam through tree-shaded meadows, tearing up mouthfuls of clover while nursing their calves in tranquility. Time, November 2, 7 o'clock America, New York. Whatever happened to Amazon's drone delivery service? Amazon's squadron of delivery drones was supposed to be in full flight by now. And the fall of 2021 would have been an opportune time to have little automated flying machines delivering packages to customers. What with all the trouble human workers are causing around the country with strikes and labor shortages.
Washington Post World, November 2, 7 o'clock America, New York. A cheat sheet for the climate terms being used at COP26. From carbon capture to hydrofluorocarbons. These are the terms you need to know as climate negotiations in Scotland unfold. Washington Post World, November 2, 6:58 America, New York. Bomb targeting security forces wounds 13 in Pakistan. Pakistan's police say 13 people were wounded by roadside bomb that exploded near a vehicle carrying security forces in a Pakistani bazaar.
Mirror World News, November 2, 6:58 America, New York. Devastating satellite photos show how planet has been ravaged by climate change. As world leaders meet at COP26, more and more greenhouse gas emissions are released into the atmosphere, leading global temperatures levels to rise, meaning glaciers and lakes disappear.
Washington Post World, November 2, 6:57 America, New York. Gunmen kidnap 6 in rare attack on university in Nigeria's capital. The abductions in Abuja come as the nation faces a kidnapping wave.
Mirror World News, November 2, 6:52 America, New York. Inside abandoned war veteran hospital with blood-stained autopsy room and rotting teeth. Gabby, 24, from the U.S., was looking online for facilities in the country to explore, and decided to visit a hospital where she found bloodstains in an autopsy lab. BBC News World, November 2nd, 6:52 America, New York, explosions and gunfire heard at Kabul Military Hospital. Unconfirmed reports suggest at least 15 have been killed in an attack at Sardar Dawood Khan Hospital.
Washington Post World, November 2nd, 6:51 America, New York. 6 people abducted from university in Nigeria's capital. Authorities say gunmen in Nigeria's capital abducted 6 people from the staff quarters of a university. Washington Post World, November 2nd, 6:48 America, New York. China accuses U.S. of lack of transparency over sub-accident. China is accusing the U.S. of a lack of transparency and responsibility regarding an accident in the South China Sea involving a Navy nuclear submarine last month.
Mirror World News, November 2nd, 6:44 America, New York. Young people explain why COP26 can't fail. Children and young adults around the world are urging world leaders to take decisive action at the climate conference.
November 2nd, 6:41 America, New York. Biden wraps final day of foreign trip by focusing on forests at climate summit. President Joe Biden will spend his final day of his trip to Europe focusing on methane emissions and forests events at the United Nations Climate Summit in Glasgow before holding his second solo news conference of the week.
RT World News, November 2nd, 6:30 America, New York. Brussels' blackmail of holding EU recovery funds hostage threatens Poland's climate goals, Warsaw warns. Withholding EU payouts as a form of blackmail could jeopardize Warsaw's ability to reach its climate targets and implement change alongside other nations, Polish Prime Minister Mateusz Morawiecki has warned. New York Times World News, November 2nd, 6:30 America, New York. Needless suffering. Britain offers a warning of what happens when a country ignores COVID. A crowd in London at a screening of Dune last month.
November 2nd, 6:29 America, New York. 3 giraffes died at the Dallas Zoo in less than a month. Experts are looking into whether 2 of the deaths are connected. A third giraffe has died at the Dallas Zoo in less than a month, the zoo reported.
PowerPost, November 2nd, 6:19 America, New York. Democrats not only have to pass their social spending package, they also have to sell it. And while the White House has pointed to polling showing that individual elements of the bill are popular, many Americans are unclear on what's in it, or even that a bill is being hashed out at all.